adventures into the unknown. My name is Rick, this is Katana, and today back here I have my 84-year-old father with me. We are hunting for fire agates just west of Phoenix, Arizona, and we are south of Saddle Mountain. I think the north side gets hit quite a bit for people searching for these fire agates, so we thought we'd start on the south side. And actually, let me get you and show you. Basically, from the moment I stepped out of the truck, there are agates all over the place here. Now, not a whole lot of fire in them yet, but I'm guessing as we walk on up, we are starting to find some with color. Perhaps not fire, but they definitely have some color. So we'll keep searching, and already starting to see some color. Not sure that's fire yet, but you got to see color before you typically see the fire. Now I just took a step forward, and that one might actually have some fire in it. And again, we are on the south side of Saddle Mountain. This is 453rd Avenue, I think. It's a dirt road. I will put the GPS coordinates in the description down below. Now, a few more steps from the truck. There's Katana. There are some interesting looking rocks that might have a little bit of fire in the middle. You can see I'm literally just picking these out of the dirt here. They're all clustered together. So we've got a bit of a strewn field that seems to lead up to the top of that ridge, and everything seems to be coming down this way. So we're going to walk off and cover this area here. Couple nice specimens. More than likely are going to have a little bit of fire in them. And as you saw, I didn't go very far from the truck. Camera's just sitting here at the truck. This looks like it might have some color to it. Definitely has some potential. Another little bit of color. That's a small chip. Over here is some botryoidal, the little bubbles or grapes. Might have a little bit of fire. Not sure you can see it, but right in this little area, there's quite a bit of color. Again, not so sure we have fire. This little piece. has a little bit of botryoidal. Look right there. Looks to be a nice piece. That ends up just being a chip. But nonetheless, a couple good bubbles there. Alright, haven't flipped this yet, but what caught my eye was this color here. Might be some fire in there. Here's another interesting piece. Alright, so this round little ball caught my eye. Kind of interesting. And then right next to it over here is some color. Alright, so this definitely has the possibility of having some fire in there. And there's another piece here. Has pretty good color. And I'm sure I'm missing some and you're screaming at your screen that I didn't pick up the piece right in front of me. But the sun doesn't always catch them right for you to see, so you might miss some. Alright, so you'll see a lot of this out here. And I think it's chalcedony. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, drop what this actually is in the comments down below. But there's a ton of this stuff if that's what you're into out in this area. But what I'm actually interested in is these fire agate possibilities. I'm not saying it is until I get them cleaned up. Here's one that kind of looks like a brain. Alright, so this one was a bigger piece, looked kind of interesting. And there could be some fire inside this bigger chunk here. That one would be about the size of the palm of my hand. So that one would be interesting to get cleaned up and see what kind of color we get, at least from this point here. Alright, this looks like some good color. That could definitely have some fire in that. And that's not a bad specimen either. Alright, let's take a look. This one's kind of interesting. It's got some color. I think I might have seen some green in it. Maybe not. That might have been from the screen on the camera. Take that one home and polish it up. Alright, got some orange here. That ends up just being a chip. Just orange. Don't really see any fire in it. Alright, this looked like a nice piece. That has some potential for sure. We'll get that cleaned up. And I post pictures of these at the end of the video, so you could always skip to the end if you're not interested in actually watching the rockhounding part, but that one looks like a good one. There's a big piece of that white. I believe it's chalcedony. Really caught my eye. It's got a little bit of red on it. Not going to be fire. That's an interesting piece. Just above it is some color. Not so sure there's fire in there. Looks like the old man might be on a patch. He's actually sat down and is digging around. They're all over out here. If he can do it at 84, You can get out here and do it. All right, let's see what this wedge is. Oh, that's actually buried a bit. Now, if the whole thing has that orange to it, that would be a nice flake. It's not fire, but it's orange, but it's a nice size flake. We'll clean it up and take a picture of it for the end of the video. All right, so here is a piece of that white rock, but if you look right here, there's like a botryoidal formation of probably fire agates. So that's actually kind of interesting. All right, see some color on the edge of this one. Could have some fire in there. All right, so here's a couple, I think a couple right next to each other. Looks like that has a possibility of having fire in it. Whoop, that one ended up being bigger than I thought. Have to get that one washed up and see. And then the old man spotted, oh, this cluster, that looks like a good piece here. That's got some potential for sure. All right, here's some color. It's just a chip. Just a chip. Well, the other side actually looks to be almost botryoidal, not quite. So we'll get that one cleaned up. Here's a couple interesting specimens. We got this one here, pretty clean. This stuff's everywhere, so I'm not actually going to keep that. What caught my eye was this piece here, this little bubble here. That could have some, not really fire. It's not really fire, but it's a decent agate. A couple more interesting specimens. It's just a flake. But again, we got the bubbles. Maybe we got some fire in those. And then we got this piece here, which almost looked like wolfenite, but I know it's not wolfenite, but it's more crystallized than most of the stuff we've been finding. And I know there is a wolfenite mine out in this area as well that I'll be visiting in the future. So you might want to shoot that subscribe button. Alright, here's another. Well, that's might be a little more dug into the dirt. That's kind of interesting on the backside, but what caught my eye was the color here, along with the white. So we'll get that one cleaned up and see. So we'll get this one cleaned up and see what that color ends up being and maybe what's on the backside here. Alright, here's an interesting one. It's got some color on it, and I think underneath here and on the bottom there's some darker reds. You got the bit of orange all within this host rock. So that one's got some potential. Alright, this caught my eye. Looks like a nice specimen. Alright, so this looks like that's a flake. But it still has some potential. And then this piece, really dark right here. Don't know if you can see that, but we'll try to dig this out. Oh yeah, that could have some fire in there. That could be a good piece right there. We'll get that cleaned up. I think we might have got a nice specimen here, for sure. Alright, this looks interesting here. Look at that. Clean up the bottom. Kind of runs right through the middle of that stone. That's an interesting specimen. And there's a couple others here. This chip caught my eye. A lot of color to that. Let's see what we got on this one here. You can see some color. Oh, this might end up being bigger than I thought. Actually, it's a lot bigger than I thought. That is actually a lot bigger than I thought. We'll see what that cleans up like. Alright, not sure you can see that. I think you can. You can see the tip of my finger. Get that in the sun. Those are out here quite a bit too. Kind of interesting. If anyone knows what these are called, drop a comment down in the comment section down below. Alright, this one doesn't look too bad. Might be bigger than I thought. Oh yeah. That's got some good potential. If the rest of this has some potential if the rest of this dirty part of the gemstone cleans up. That's a nice looking specimen. And I'm not sure you'll be able to see, but a little bit of cleaning on it, and it's already showing that this entire chip, which is a pretty decent size, is botryoidal all over it. And not saying it's fire, but there could be some in there. We'll take a look when we get back and clean it up real good. Alright, this piece here is kind of interesting. Pretty big piece. A lot of crystals in it. Not what I'm looking for today, but still an interesting piece. There we go. There's another one that has some potential. Has some potential. Nice looking piece. Good size too. Alright, this could be one of the better finds of the day. Good color in that. That is a nice specimen there. Alright, another piece. Long, big piece. Has a little bit of everything in it. We'll get that cleaned up and see what we end up with. Alright, so this piece caught my eye with the crystals. Kind of has crystals all through it. Nice specimen. We'll take that back, clean it up. Here's another one with all kinds of little crystals in there. Alright, might have just found the best specimen of the day for me anyway. We got some botryoidal going on, and I definitely think this one might have fire in it. Great possibilities, good size. good looking specimen. Looking forward to getting that polished and cleaned up. Not sure how this will show, but this is an interesting flake I found that you can pretty much see right through. Alright, some more amazing color. Oh, it's just a chip. It's not down in there very far. It's got some potential. Definitely has some potential. Alright, got some more color. Little betrothal. Couple little bubbles, or betrothal, or whatever you want to call it. More than likely, not a whole lot of fire, if any, but still, interesting specimen. Alright, this stuff is everywhere out here. We got this piece here. That ended up being a bigger piece. Right there looks to be pretty good color on the end there. And that's just probably in a 1 foot circle. That's kind of different. And that's all just within a 1 foot circle. And you can see the truck. And you can walk all over here on this flat. And we're nowhere even close to Saddle Mountain. That's Saddle Mountain way off in the distance. We're on the south side. And again, I will drop the GPS coordinates in the description down below. Alright, right there looks to be like one of those fire flake type stones. Get that cleaned up. See, yeah, what that ends up looking like. Here we have kind of one that looks to be round. It's got some decent color to it. Wasn't quite as round as I thought once I got it out of the ground. It's got some potential. Alright, hit a little patch. There's one here. Looks to be one here. And one right there. All within a foot of each other. Oh, this one appears to be bigger than I realized. Oh, it is. Oh, wow. That one's got a whole lot of extra rock attached to it that I had to get cleaned off, but I was actually after this up here. So that's a good, I guess people call that a matrix piece. And then that last one is right here. Oh, it has an extra chunk on it as well. Look at that, it's got this chunk on the bottom. I was after this stuff up top. Now that makes for an interesting piece. I guess again, we call that matrix maybe, if I'm wrong. Go ahead, beat me up in the comments. I know nothing about rocks. But that's a nice specimen right there. I'm really trying to head towards the truck, but every step I take, this stuff's just everywhere. Look at that. Another great specimen with some potential. Alright, this is not fire agate, but it is definitely botryoidal. And an interesting specimen. It appears to be pretty pink. Anyone knows what this is? Drop a comment in the comment section down below. Holy smokes, look at the size of this specimen. Now, it's probably not fire agate, but look at that. It's the palm of my hand. Look how that runs through there. That is a heck of a specimen. Alright, so on that note of finding this specimen, I think that's going to wrap it up. I need to make it back to the truck. And so I want to thank all of you for joining me on today's adventure. Again, I will leave the GPS coordinates in the description down below. If you like this video, do me a favor, spike a like. If you like these type of videos, you might want to shoot that subscribe button. There'll be a lot more in the future. And until next time, remember, get out there and seek and enjoy. See you next time.